Well, hey fans, welcome back to the JanuScary special, and today we're going to talk about There's Something Wrong with the Children. Now, There's Something Wrong with the Children is a horror film directed by Roxanne Benjamin, starring Alisha Wainwright, Zach Gilford, Amanda Crew, and Carlos Santos. And it was a joint production between Blumhouse Television and Paramount Home Movies to make a horror movie for the streaming channel Epix. And I want to take a little tangent here to discuss the fact that Epix, as of January 15th, will be rebranding itself MGM Plus. Now, when Netflix came out, it became a streaming giant and everybody wanted to get in on that. So then you have these other streaming services. You have Prime Video, you have Peacock, and you have Disney Plus, HBO Max. But the thing about Disney Plus, once they did that, Disney Plus, a lot of other people started joining in. You know, you got the Paramount Pluses, you got the ESPN Pluses, and all these other pluses that want to be like them. So I just think MGM Plus is a terrible name for a streaming service. Have some faith in your brand that you can give something a crazy name like Peacock and, you know, believe that people will watch it because you have good content. Adding the plus is just so unoriginal. And that's enough of that tangent. I'll get back into this terrible movie. So There's Something Wrong with the Children is what is wrong with streaming films today. It is very low quality, very poorly acted, and the story is just bland. And the story follows these two couples. You got Margaret and Ben and their friends Ellie and Thomas, and they go off for this long weekend with Ellie and Thomas's kids to like this cabin just for like a nice retreat. And they go on like a hike one day, and they go into this old building where there's like a bottomless pit. And the pit seems to be calling to the children, but then they leave. And of course the kids return, and after the kids return, they start acting weird. And that's basically the overall premise of the film, is what we're getting into. And we never actually find out, okay, the kids become some type of monster type creatures, and we don't understand really why that happens. We never get any information about this bottomless pit that is changing people into monsters. And their eyes glow, and they have like these weird powers. And at a certain point in the film, their shadows are giant insects, and they make like these insect clicking sounds, which comes out of left field. And I feel like it was unnecessary. You could have easily just got away with the kids turning into monsters, because we actually never see them turn into insects. Their shadows are just insects, and I think it's just silly to do that. Just make them some kind of weird invasion of the body snatch kids. You don't have to add the effects to make their shadows aliens. And I don't know, and I gotta fault Roxanne Benjamin for this, because she's directed a couple of things. She's been a producer on the VHS franchise. She's directed some episodes of like Riverdale and Sabrina and stuff like that. But everything in this film is oversaturated. It looks like it's supposed to be some kind of dream state, no matter throughout. All the colors are very bright. And it really does give off the vibes of like an old episode of Goosebumps from the 90s, but it doesn't have that same nostalgia that you get when you watch that and say, oh, you know, I can tell this is low quality, but, you know, I read the books as a child, and I think it's something, you know, worth watching. This, it doesn't feel like that. It's like I said, it's a bad story that looks like it was made in the early 90s for some kind of direct-to-DVD, back shelf movie that nobody ever wanted to see. And I feel like they could have did better than that. It almost feels to me like this is some kind of money laundering product for Blumhouse Television, just to get paid to release terrible content, because they should be ashamed. It's not that great. And the acting by the adults and the children all around, not good. It is not good. It is like boring. You can barely pay attention to what's going on. And I'll say that there's one interesting thing about the story. And that one interesting thing is that Ben, he has some kind of like mental illness. He has like some kind of mental illness he has to take medicine for, just to keep him on an even keel. And he starts questioning himself like toward the middle of the film about if he's like going crazy, does he need to take more medicine, what's exactly going on. They should have taken that premise and ran with it, because that was where the film actually got a little interesting. There was like another scene where there's like a little bit of butting heads between him, his wife, and his friends about, oh, you guys don't have kids, and the real reason you don't have kids is she doesn't want to have kids with you because of your mental illness. And they rebuttal back, oh, well, you guys have kids, but you pawn them off on us to take care of them. You pawn them off on your parents to take care of them, and your marriage is steadily falling apart. Like that, I think a psychological thriller where these friends like are becoming like antagonistic toward each other would have made a better film with the monster stuff in the background of them not even realizing what's going on with the kids. And there's another funny thing. So during the film, when the characters start either dying or getting replaced, there's this one character who goes off with the kids. And you pretty much assume he is dead. And he shows back up at the end of the film and you're like, why are you not dead or taken over by these monster things? It made no sense why he showed back up. And then to get to the actual very end of the film, it is probably the worst scene in cinema history. Like, it makes zero sense what's going on. It's just terrible. So, in terms of a score, I'm going to have to give There's Something Wrong with the Children a terrible 1 out of 10. That one interesting storyline is what brought it up to a 1. I almost gave it a 0. But I definitely recommend, just don't watch this. Don't do anything near this movie because it is just a waste of your time. On YouTube, they have like these shortened movies that you can watch. This is a good place to watch that. Go to YouTube, type in short movies or movies really quickly, whatever those, there's like tons of them, and see if somebody has a condensed version of this where they just basically tell you what happens so you don't have to watch the full movie. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me again for the JanuScary special. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.